everybody doing? Sophia over on Twitch, y'all. Today is Sophia's birthday. Happy birthday, Sophia! Happy birthday, Sophia! I hope you've had a wonderful day. What kind of stuff? So, those of you who didn't see it earlier, Sophia says, "I am a little drunk and watching something animated." Yay for being drunk and happy birthday! Happy birthday! Welcome in, Anita over on Twitch. Hello, hello. And Emily is over on YouTube. Hi, Em. Sophia says, I am now 1 year older to 40. So 1 year closer to 40. So are you like on the edge of 40 or do you mean you're older, 1 year older than 40? So are you 41? Are you 39? Where are you in there? I mean, you don't have to tell me, of course, but I always like to know because I'm a nosy bitch. That's how it is. Sophia says, it's been a good day. I made risotto. Girl, yes. Hence wine, had a successful run, and now I'm watching a kids show. Yes, so Sophia is 39. That's okay. That's okay, because what I found, and I found this leading up to all of those big 0 birthdays, is that if I have arranged my life to where it's on the path I want it to be, I don't have trouble with those big zero birthdays. If I have put myself on a path that I want to be on for the future, that's what, for me anyway, that's what makes the 0 birthdays not be a big deal, because I'm where I want to be, right? So that's been my experience, and I feel like, Sophia, that's where you are too, right? It's okay to be 41 too, also, for the record. Well, yeah, it's also okay to be 56, because that's where I am, right? I'm not obsessing about it. I find as I get older, I give fewer and fewer fucks about stupid stuff, and it just keeps going like that. It is amazing how few fucks I give for so many things. Yes. Kelly has arrived over on YouTube. Hey, Cal! Kelly says, happy Dime Zone, my friends. I need to wash a load of dishes and make brunch. That sounds lovely. Sophia says, and more embrace my weird witch ant energy. Do it. Do it. Yes. 39 is a great year. It's a great year. Sophia says, it's also long since given up any desire to have kids, so that biological clock is welcome to tick until it stops. Girl, yes, that's how I feel as well. I'm perfectly happy being the cool ant. That's fine for me. That is fine for me. So it's a pretty good day, I think. My knee has been bothering me the last couple weeks. Usually it's my right knee, but I got a shot in it last year that amazingly fixed it. It was the worst shot I've ever had in my entire life. And in the doctor's office, after they gave it to me, it hurt so bad. Honest to God, it was awful. And I couldn't walk for like 10 minutes. I had 10-15 minutes. I had to sit there and wait for it to stop hurting because I just couldn't walk. And then it took about a month. After about a month, I was like, it feels like it's not working. But then after that, it's been perfect. So I was like, oh, that's awesome. But now my left knee is hurting. But I also know that has to do with weight gain. And that's a thing that I've been facing about myself in the last few days, particularly, is that my eating got out of control. I hadn't been exercising all year, and I know I've gained weight. I lost control of my eating for a little while, and so I know I've gained weight, and I'm positive that the left knee, the problems I'm having with the left knee, have to do with that. So I'm like in that mental space where I'm gearing myself up to get back to business when it comes to my physical body, because I am not good at taking care of it. I'm good at like going to the doctor when something's wrong. I'm perfectly good at that. I'm good at taking my meds generally. I took all my meds yesterday. I'm good at taking my meds. I'm sometimes not as great at taking my vitamins, you know, but like I'm still relatively good at taking my vitamins. But there are just some weeks where I just, for whatever reason, I just don't finish taking my pills. But like I'm excellent at taking my meds. And so like I take care of myself in those ways. It's the physical activity and eating well part that I'm not good at. Sophia's. Oh, wait, no, wait. Emily says, oh my god, there's a small fairy watering too. That's adorable. Yes. And so we are also currently luring the second spirit. I decided to set that up, you know, right before the sprint. So we're luring in spirit number 2. But how cute is she? So I'll go into wardrobe and the spirit companion so you can see her a little closer. How cute is she? Look at her. She's so cute. All right. Okay. Alicia's here on YouTube. Hi, Alicia. Alicia says, hey, I'm here. Got to pack up a book I sold on Pango, and I found the last garden spirit this morning. Y'all are so, like, it was hilarious because I was at a bunch of different sprints and stuff yesterday, and everybody has like plowed through getting their spirits, and me, I'm just on number 2. Like, she's the only one I've got so far because I like to draw it out. Alicia says, I also need to schedule sprints and things for April. I need to do that as well. Amelia's here on YouTube. Hi, Amelia. Amelia's got her new schedule down and figured out how to add exercise again with the new job. Yes, good. Sophia's getting a tax rebate. Did my taxes today and getting almost 12K SEK. I don't know how to pronounce your actual currency, which is about 1,200 euro. That's good. Which for me is rent for 3 months. That's amazing. In the US, that would be 1 month of rent on a 1-bedroom apartment. Yeah. So not even counting like utilities and stuff. Sophia says, I hope to spend this on a new bike since someone rudely stole yours. Somebody stole your bike? Oh, that's awful. People are awful. I hate them. I'm glad we're not people because they're awful. All right. Emily says, so cute. I know, right? Molly is here over on YouTube. Hey, Molly. How you doing? So I am drawing out the finding of spirits. I will not find spirits without y'all. I do want to give you guys a heads up. I haven't worked out the exact dates yet, but I am going to go see my aunt in Tennessee. And it's probably going to be over a Wednesday and Thursday and Friday, because that seems to be the only time I've only got a couple weekends that I can go see her. She lives in Tennessee, and I try to go see her a few times a year, and I haven't been since before the holidays, I think. So I want to go because once we hit May, I am not going to have time. I'm not going to have time to go there. And then once I hit July, yeah, so I want to try to get there. So sometime in April, there's going to be a week where we probably won't have sprints or Zoom co-working for that week. But I'll see what I can do about doing some sprints maybe on the Monday or Tuesday before I go or whatever. So we'll see. But just giving you guys a heads up just about that. So yeah. So yeah. So I'm the first sprint, I'm going to eat my lunch because I didn't eat today yet. Because again, so when I'm in that place where I'm like, when I start tracking my food again, then I don't want to eat. Because then it's like, I know what that's going to look like on my food tracker. And I don't want to look at it. So then it's not that I don't eat. It's just that I put off eating. So I haven't eaten anything yet today, except for the one thing. I'm eating a Lunchable. I'm still not eating the best, but it's easy and quick and gets food into me. So, And it's, you know, within my parameters of where I want to keep things, but I also need to get back to doing exercises and stuff, which I have not done in ages. Like, literally, I don't even remember the last time. Well, that's not true, because during Kelly and Alicia's sprints one day, I did some weight work, some work on the weights. But I have not been at all consistent with any of it, period. So, yeah. Sophia says, when I track my food, I just try to stick to timing. It's reasonable not to get a snack for 2 hours after a meal, for example. Yeah, and for me, it's not so much how often I eat, because I don't ever eat a lot when I eat. But it has more to do with my choices and how much fat, like how I disproportionately eat fat and carbs more than I eat like protein and stuff like that. So yeah. So and it's absolutely bad food choices, and not necessarily even eating too often, because even as eating often, you know, not eating big meals but eating small things often, like I have to make better choices. So Sophia says it reduces snacking and makes me pay attention more. Yeah, when I'm tracking, then I recognize, like, because I also, so I use something called chronometer. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's CRONOMETER. And it gives you a breakdown of all your macros and everything. So you can also track, like, you know, I was anemic for ages. So, like, I could track my iron and stuff like that. But, like, what I do is I recognize, okay, this is how many calories I have, you know, and it's not that I super calorie count, but it helps me make better decisions, because it's like, oh, I don't want to go over a certain amount of calories if I can help it, but I want to get as close to it as possible, right? So yeah, so for me, it's like I tend to eat a lot, and like during the course of the day, I just have to make better choices. Emily says, I regularly run. I don't know if that at all appeals to you, but if it does, I find Couch to 5K to be a great way for people to get into it, because it gradually works you up to running through intervals. I did that probably about 10 or 12 years ago. I did that. I never got to the 5K part, but it did help me a lot. I struggle with going outside to exercise. I'm just not good at it. If I get it into a pattern, if I get a, what's it called? Like a schedule going or whatever, then it works. But also, because my knees have been bothering me, I want something a little less lower impact. But I have a VR, like a, what are they called? Quest, what is it? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. The VR thing, and they have a lot of fun stuff. Like I have Beat Saber, and I've got a drummer game and stuff, which is an incredible upper body workout. Holy shit. You know, and those are good. And those are fun for me. My problem is that my mind has to be engaged. And if my mind isn't engaged, which is why actually weights work. Like if I'm at a gym or whatever, weights work, because I'm at a machine and then move to the next machine and the next machine, and it engages the changing engages my brain. So yeah. Oh my gosh, Vengerberg Vixen is here. I have not seen you in a hot minute. A hot minute. How are you doing? How are you doing? Are you going to JordanCon this year? I am not. A lot of people, like, I got messages from people all over the place. Well, I didn't see your name on the JordanCon guests. I was like, yeah, I didn't apply this year. I wasn't sure if I was going to be in the country or not. So, welcome in. Well, yeah, she says, I'm okay. I'll be at JordanCon. Well, I hope you have a great time. Give folks hugs for me. I don't know. I might try to stop in and hang out in the lobby for a little bit, but probably not. I probably won't. I mean, I might. I have it in my head. Nope, I'm not going. Nope, not going. I have it in my head that I might go over there and stop and hang out in the lobby for a while, but I actually probably won't do that because that's going to require leaving my house and driving halfway across town. so, yeah, I'm sad too that I'm gonna miss folks, um, but yeah, I just I didn't apply because I wasn't sure if I would be here. I wasn't sure what our moving situation was. I still don't know what our moving situation is, but I'm here. Um, but I will be doing obviously Dragon Con and Multiverse later in the year. I'm also doing a thing in Alabama, a 1 day thing in just outside of Birmingham, or maybe just inside of somewhere around Birmingham. No, not Birmingham, Oxford, which is before Birmingham. Um, Called Oxford Con. It's a 1 day thing. I think it's in June. I think it's like the end of June. I don't remember. Anyway, so I am vending there. So yeah. Daniela's here. Hey, Daniela, how are you today? She totally forgot I was on. That's okay. I don't mind. I don't mind. Just made and ate vegan mac and cheese for dinner, and it was delicious. Also got a haircut today, so finally short hair. Yeah, love it, love it. All right, let's get into doing stuff. Like I said, this first sprint I'm gonna be off camera because I'm gonna eat, and then I'll come back on camera whenever I'm done eating, and then figure out what the fuck I need to do today. I have no idea. I have no idea what I need to do today. Um, so yeah. All right. Shall we get into it, y'all? Go ahead and let me know. Oh wait, I missed Emily. If running isn't your thing, I also suggest just walking and or some active sport like pickleball. I don't know about that. Sophia, oh, I missed a whole bunch of stuff. Sophia says, but if you want to be buddies on my fitness tracker or something for added accountability though, I'll be there for you, babe. Oh, you're so awesome. You're so awesome. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna do that. I'm awful. I never want accountability buddies because I don't want to be held accountable for my lack of exercise. That's really what it is. I'm absolutely avoidant in that regard. So, as a fat woman, I know what I'm supposed to do. I always know what I'm supposed to do because I've been told my entire fucking life what I'm supposed to do. So, let's see. Alicia says, not sure what I want for lunch. Your Cuban sandwich yesterday. I know you probably don't have any left, but man, that sounded good yesterday. Anita says, working on emails, then art or writing. Excellent, excellent. I did do a lot of stuff this morning already. Well, I bought tires and scheduled the appointment for installation, and I think that's a lot. It may not be, but I think it's a lot. All right. Are we ready? Got 20 minutes. Let's do it. Here we go. Okay, y'all, that's the first sprint. I ate my lunch. That's literally all I did. And I searched Facebook for something that I haven't been able to find yet. And I got a message from somebody who's in town for a fountain pen convention. Which I think is fabulous. She's going to be in town this weekend. And wanted to know if I wanted to get together for lunch or something on Saturday. And so yeah, so that's gonna be cool. It's a good thing Spicy Molly isn't in here to hear about it. All right, but not Spicy Molly is here and said she ate her not bad but could have been better spaghetti, then Mystery Science Theatered politics video. Also added books to Storygraph challenges. Nice. Phantom has arrived over on Twitch. Hey, Phantom. Phantom is just going to be lurking to listen while working on their book. Currently stuck in bed sick. I'm so sorry. I hope that you get better soon. Being sick is no fun at all. Daniela partially cleaned the kitchen and then randomly decided to declutter bathroom stuff. Yeah, I do that too. My thing is, oh, I need to do this thing, but in order to do this thing, I have this other thing that I have to do to make room for stuff from here, and, like, it's just, like, so many things. Scroll back. Y'all chatty. Let's see. Emily is still on the outline train. Yes, outlining can take a while, but I find that the more time you spend outlining, if that's your thing, the easier and faster the writing goes. But be careful not to use outlining as an excuse not to write your story. Just gonna leave that right there. Hattie says, I'm playing chauffeur today for my roommate's mom and niece because dad is out of town. This is the tiny tyrants person. Took the kiddo to school, dozed, took mom to a hair and nail appointment. Woo, girl, you busy today. Anita finished the email drafts. I think I'll work on some art next. That sounds lovely. Hattie says, have to leave before 3 to pick up the kiddo from school, then hit the road again before 5 to pick up the boy god kid from work. Phew. Next sprint, I have to send an email about vending on Saturday if they don't have last minute space. I'm staying home and re-registering for other events. That sounds like a good plan. Alicia got her book packaged up and ready to go. Still figuring out lunch. And Ariel has joined us over on Twitch. Hey, Ariel, how are you feeling today? I'm hanging in there. So, I mean, better than nothing, right? Alicia says, I think I may have a ramen cup because I'm lazy. It's not lazy, it's efficient. Not lazy, efficient. That's why Lunchables, they're efficient. Sophia says, I did nothing except watch my show. It's your birthday. That's the way it works. You should do whatever you want. If that means nothing but watch a show, that is what you should be doing. Sophia says, I'm watching The Animals of Farthing Wood. A favorite book of mine as a kid turned into a favorite TV show as a kid. Oh, I love that. Yay. Nostalgia. Daniela says, don't know if it's just me, but I have my computer audio on max and it's still very quiet. All right. I think it might be you. Y'all let me know if I'm not loud enough because I've got my gain up pretty high. It's not maxed, but it's up pretty high, and the mic volume on Streamlabs is up pretty high as well. So is anybody else having trouble hearing me? If so, I can like max them out, but that's not usually an issue I have. Ariel said just hang in there as well. Yes, happy birthday to Sophia. Alicia says, I will keep Lunchables in mind, might start buying some. Absolutely. I do not recommend the ham because the ham often has a lot of gristle in it. So I do the bologna and the turkey most often. My favorite is, it's basically a cracker with a piece of pepperoni and a piece of cheese, but they are not making those the way they used to. And I'm very annoyed because that was my absolute favorite because it was super easy. Oh, my volume is indeed very low. All right. Well, I'll turn that shit up. Okay, how's that? Is that better? Can y'all hear me better? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. That's not a problem I usually have. I wonder if it has to do with changing the overlay. I wonder if that reset anything. Um, Let me know if that's better. Uh, oh, so Sophia says this is a normal thing. Okay. No, just you. Not just you. These are always hard for me to hear. I turned up my volume as well, but when you're looking at the mic, you're louder. Well, my mic is way over here. So let me just turn the gain all the way up. All right, y'all let me know. Let me know if this is better. I didn't realize that the volume was low for y'all. I wish y'all would have told me sooner. So yeah, so I've got my gain up, and I've also got the audio maxed out on the mic on the audio mixer. So hopefully that will help. I don't know what I need to do today. I actually, you know what I'm going to do during this next 20 minutes? I'm going to call my dad because today is his birthday also, Sophia. So you share a birthday with my dad. And I need to call him and let him know, wish him a happy birthday, see how he's doing, because he was in the hospital for quite a long time. So yeah, okay, Hattie says it's much better. Daniela says a bit better, but I think today it was even quieter than usual. That's so weird. I don't know why. Sophia says, cool, I also share a birthday with my older sister. I was her 6th birthday gift. That is so weird. Oh my gosh. That is weird. That had to have been sometimes challenging as a kid, though, sharing your birthday with a sibling. My brother and sister, who are both significantly younger than me, they're 2 years apart, and their birthdays are exactly a week apart. His is, she was born first on January 30th, and then 2 years later, he was born on January 23rd. So they're a week apart. Yeah, but what a great birthday gift for your older sister. But then I'll bet the joy of it wore off pretty quickly as children. So yeah, I can imagine. All right, so I'm gonna call my dad during this. So I'm gonna turn the camera off because that way it won't freak people out that I'm talking and you guys can't hear me. So I'll be turning my camera off for that. Let's see. Alicia says much better on audio. Awesome. Sophia said, we used to take turns on who would have parties on the actual day. Oh. And Alicia's dad is now calling with finance questions. Yeah, I will be calling my dad, but without finance questions. Hattie says, I always assumed it had to do with streaming from one platform to another. It may. It may be that I'm dual streaming because I don't ever remember anybody saying that they had any trouble with the audio. But I don't mind keeping it turned up. That's fine. And I imagine if I got really close, it would be really loud. But I'm not going to do that the whole time, and I'm not going to rearrange my whole microphones so that it's like right here in front of my face. Although I do kind of like the idea of having the microphone on screen, but it's actually on. I'll show you it. There's the microphone, so it's on an arm, and then when I'm not using it, I can just fold it back and push it over so it's not all up in my face. But then I have to move it out. So that's where my mic sits. Let's see. Hattie says my older half sister also shares a birthday with her older half brother. Whew, that's a lot of halves. So yeah, that's gotta be frustrating as a kid. As an adult, it's not as big a deal, I think, and actually can sometimes be more fun as an adult because you can then like have a big blowout party. Like, for example, a lot of people in my friends circle, we have May birthdays. I'm a May baby, and probably about like two of my close friends have birthdays within a week of mine, and then another friend has a birthday also in a week of ours. So my first pool party of the year every year was in May, and it was a big blowout birthday party for all of us. So yeah, when I used to do the pool parties. Woo, y'all, I used to have some rockin' pool parties, man. We would have about one every month through the summer. We usually had anywhere from 3 to 4 pool parties every summer, and we would have 50 to 100 people here. It was insane, but it was a good time. Sophia says when we were little, I'd go sneak into her bed in the morning, and then our parents would come in and sing "Happy Birthday" for both of us in the morning. Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. I love that. Okay, but we better get back to work. It's not any of our birthdays. So, but I am going to call my dad, so I'm going to go off screen. I'll still have the chat open. I don't know how long I'll be on the phone with him. It'll depend on when he took his Vicodin. If he takes a Vicodin, he's very talkative. If he has not taken a Vicodin, he's like, "Thanks for calling, honey. Love you, bye." Like literally a phone call can last 3 minutes. So we'll see. We'll see where he is. Okay. If by chance he does not, I do not get off the phone with him in 20 minutes, I will drop you guys a message and then restart the timer for 10 minutes, and I will do my best to get off the phone with him during those 10 minutes. But I'm going to try to keep it under 20 minutes. Again, it depends entirely on the Vicodin. All right, y'all. Are we ready? Let's get into it. All right, y'all. That's the end of that very long sprint. Sorry I had to extend it. Dad called me. Dad called me back, so because I texted him. So we chatted for a little bit, and my cousin's kids are coming over and everything. So it was okay. I have to. I've had some emotional trauma with my dad in the past, so often I have to make sure that I am ready to talk to him. So when I call him and I can't get him, then I get annoyed and a little stressed out because that means I have to wait for him to call me, which means, that can come at a surprise time or whatever, and I cannot be ready. And so there's a little stress around that. So, but he's doing much better. He was very, very sick. Apparently he had RSV. He was in the hospital for a good 3-4 weeks. He was in the ICU for a week at the beginning of it, and he's back home now. He lives at an assisted / independent living facility, and so apparently this is the first day that he's felt good enough, and he sounded so much better than the other times I talked to him. But today is the first time he felt strong enough and able to go down to the dining room for dinner. There was nurses were bringing his food up to him every meal because he just couldn't go downstairs. So I'm very glad for that. So he sounded really, really good. He's on the mend, and that, so, and he's gonna have a good birthday. So that's awesome. Let's see. Daniela says, I realized I booked myself for something on Saturday months ago, but didn't realize the U.S. would have summertime and we won't yet. We switched Saturday night, so it's really catching me last minute. Oh, you mean daylight savings time? That fucks everybody up. All of us in the whole world. Sophia says, ugh, I'd like to go to bed, but it's only 18:15, 18.1, 18.15. So, but you can go to bed whenever you want. It's your fucking birthday. We lost so many patients to that this winter. Yeah, he was not well. I didn't even know he was in the ICU until after he was out of the ICU because my cousin called me, did not leave a message, assumed I would call back, which I don't do. If somebody doesn't leave a message, I assume it's not important. And then I didn't hear from her. Like, I think I ultimately called her. I don't remember what it was. Or maybe I called my dad. I don't remember what it was. But when I talked to her, she was like, yeah, I figured you'd call me when you saw that I called you. And I'm like, that's not how I work. If somebody doesn't leave me a message, I don't call them back. If it's important, they'll leave me a message, right? So we had this big thing then. Hattie said, so sorry to hear about what you and your dad are going through. It's like, he's up in Chicago, so like I can't even like be there, which is good because I'm already dealing with my mom's medical stuff. I can't do both. And thank God for my cousin. I mean, even if we have different ways of doing the phone, thank God for her because she has taken such good care of him. Got the email sent and I will be vending Saturday. Yay, congratulations. Also cleared some robo voicemails. I have so many spam voicemails. It's awful. Anita said, working on a fire ring. Dumb line would go away, but I figured it out. Okay, I'm very confused by all of those words, the way you have arranged them together, Anita. I don't know if I'm being dumb or if it's, I don't know. I don't understand what you're saying. Sophia says, no, then I'll wake up after midnight. No, that makes sense. I getcha. Alicia says, holy shite, Batman! Trying to explain finances to my dad using an online calculator gives me a headache. I feel like you shouldn't have to explain finances to your dad. He should have learned that, like, when you were a child. Yeah, that's rough. I'm sorry. Ariel says, I'm just decompressing from work. That is excellent, my friend. Oh, wouldn't go away. Oh, dumb line wouldn't go away, but I figured it out. Okay, good. Okay. That makes so much more sense. Thank you. All right. So I'm going to finish making plans with the person who's coming into town on Saturday. For those of you in TWT who know her, it is Beth DeWeese. So she is in town. I guess her hubby is going to this fountain pen convention conference things. He has like a YouTube channel and stuff, is my understanding. So she's like, "You're saving me, letting," because I was like, "Your husband can come to lunch too if you want." She's like, "No, no, no, you're saving me," and I'm like, "All right, let's go." So yeah, um, so Anita's like, "No, you're not dumb. That was just a typo." Thank you. Ariel says, "I also had an idea for a panel that I would like to present someday, but I need to do research." All right, all right. Alicia says, "My family didn't talk finance when I was a child." But I mean, I feel like he should have learned finances then. You know what I mean? Like that seems like even if nobody talked about it, he should have learned it at some point or at least figured it out, right? And out of me and my sister, I'm better off financially. Yeah, that makes sense. My brother's well off financially, but it's because they're a two income household and he makes a good amount of money. And if I had a full-time job, we would be really well set. As it is, we're fine, you know. But I was not good at finances either when I was young because my mother doesn't know how to live within her means at all. So she doesn't know anything about budgeting or anything like that because she's always had a man to take care of her. And so, which is part of why she is having trouble right now. Um, and I didn't really learn how to do finances very well until I was probably in my late 20s. I learned a little bit when I was in my early 20s from my aunt and my grandmother, because I lived with my grandmother several times over the years, but especially when I first started college and I was waiting tables, so I learned like envelope budgeting. And so I found it, I got a general idea of budgeting, and they're both, my grandmother and my aunt were both very good with money. And and so once I hit my 30s and I was with my husband, like I do all the finances and I'm much much better at budgeting now than I ever was. So yeah, I also did not come from a family that was particularly good at it. Yeah, keywords should have, right? My dad has always been a spender. That's the way my mom is. That's the way my mom is. Oh, y'all, we get a break. I almost forgot. I'm just talking through the whole thing. I could probably use a top off of my tea. So if y'all need something to drink, y'all need something to eat, you need to use a restroom, this is a perfect time to do it. Um, and if you have been with me this whole time or even part of the time and you've been sitting, you haven't gotten up, get up out of your chair, just do a little walk around where, you know, whatever room you're in, just to stretch those muscles and stuff. Also, if you haven't taken your meds yet, and you should have taken your meds by now, take your meds. Ariel says, "I don't have the idea altogether, but it's related to creating compelling love interests." Oh, I like it. I like it. Oh, we do have a new spirit. Thank you for the heads up, Alicia. We will meet our new spirit when we come back from the break because I also have to pee. So let's go do the things. We'll come back and we will meet our new spirit, y'all. All right, let me put 5 minutes on the red clock. We'll be right back. I'll meet you back here in a few minutes. Let's go. like a very chill song. All right. Let's see if I can make this work right. That's not right. This one? This one. All right. See, look at there. Oh, let me turn off the timer. Okay, we're gonna meet our new spirit, y'all. Let's go. Here we go. We got a gnome! Y'all, we got a gnome! Gnomey! Gnomey! A rather funny looking spirit, you won't get much of a glimpse into Gnomey's true form since it keeps itself covered up from head to toe under a pointed hat and mossy beard. All Gnomey have big bushy beards regardless of gender. Its beard grows like a plant and needs to be watered regularly. But do always make sure to get their nod of approval before touching a Gnomey's beard, since some consider it quite forward, while others are more casual about it. Gnomey is very still whenever anybody is watching it. Those who only see this spirit during the day might think they are lazy layabouts. In fact, it's a commonly repeated myth that sunlight turns them to stone, but it just makes them so cozy and sleepy that they don't want to move a muscle. If you do catch a peep of Gnomey moving about in the daytime, it's sometimes spotted chirping and grunting at stones and rocks as if conversing with them. What could Gnomey be saying to them? And even more curious, are they responding back to it? How cute is he? All right, let's go look at our clothing options with Gnomey. Look at how cute he is. Look at him. All right, so we've got blue and very gardeny, brown and green, very sort of autumny, and a little bit of pink, and a little bit of rainbow. Oh, how cute. I love how it looks like paint at the top. That's so cute. All right, I think I kind of like the blue one. I think we're gonna go with the blue one. All right. So look, he's even watering. But let's do something else in the garden while we're here. Let's play with the new one. There we go. Yay! All right. There's our new little friend. Okay. Ariel says that the panel that she's thinking of is mostly from a fan/reader perspective since I haven't published anything. That's okay. Oh wait, let me go back to the regular thing with my face. There we go. All right. Molly says, well, long story short, goodbye. Okay. Context is Mom and Larry need me. Have fun all and be productive. Oh, bye, Molly. Leaving stream on for watched hours. Thank you, Molly. You're awesome. Awesome, awesome. Yes, a gnome. No, it's Tomte. Alicia said, this man is driving me bonkers. He wants a debt snowball calculator, but with all the things, interest payment schedule and everything. Yeah, tell him to make his own. Like, dude, come on. You a big boy. You can do it. Yes, he is so cute. He's actually Tomty. What do you mean, Hattie? Cause that's not what the name in the thing said. It said Nomi. So, he is so cute though. I like him. I still like the fairy girl better, but I tend to like girls better than boys anyway, even though we don't know the gender of this one. Looks like a boy. But he's still pretty cute. He's still pretty cute. So, Alicia says her dad is not very computer savvy, but you know, he can do it on paper. Like, they were doing it on paper before we had computers. So, if he's not computer savvy, he doesn't get to ask for a bajillion things. You know what I mean? I mean, if he's not computer savvy enough to do a Google search to try to find one for himself, then I think he needs to either do it on paper or just, you know, settle for what he gets, not with all the bells and whistles, right? Kelly's like, I have a gnome thing. I love them. I am not even remotely surprised that you have a gnome thing, but that is a good thing to know. Kelly says, when I finish redoing my front garden, I wish to fill it with gnomes and fairies. I think that is an excellent idea. Excellent idea. If y'all like fairies, I don't know if you've ever seen Kenny. What the fuck is his last name? I don't remember his last name. He's this guy, he's on Threads, so I'm assuming he's on TikTok and all the others. But his name is Kenny. I can't remember. He's from Scotland, and he does videos about Scottish folklore and also Scottish culture, but Scottish folklore, and then he'll branch off into Scottish culture. And I love watching his videos. That doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about, but he was just talking about fairies. And, you know, so anyway, Hattie says the faceless ones that get called gnomes are actually a different creature, a tomte. It's a personal peeve that they get misnamed. Okay, although he's not technically faceless. He has a face. It's just up under the hat. It's just under the hat. So, I like that you're like, this is the hill I'm gonna die on. Damn it. I love that. I love that we all have these little hills that is this weird little factoid that nobody else knows, or hardly anybody else knows, and we will fucking die on that hill for that shit. I am with you. I mean, I don't know anything about it, but I am with you, Hattie. Die on that damn hill. Do it. I mean, don't actually die. I don't want that for you. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Keep up the fight. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Because, you know, I have those hills as well. One of my personal hills is that semicolons do not belong in fiction. You can do it sometimes, but they absolutely do not belong in dialogue. And I will die on that fucking hill every time. Every time. There is no good reason to have a semicolon in dialogue. That's not what they're for. Anyway, see, I have a hill too. All right, shall we get into the next sprint? I have to finish making plans with my friend, and then I have to call my aunt. So, to figure out when I'm going to come see her. So, are we ready? Are we ready? I have 20 minutes on the clock. Oh, let me find there it is. I couldn't find my mouse, y'all. Daniela says, I've abandoned many hills to die on, but new ones keep emerging. It's true. And I think it's also, as we learn new things, we find new hills. That's how it works. So, all right, 20 minutes, y'all. Here we go. Oh, I'm also going to go off camera when I call my aunt, just as a heads up. All right, here we go, y'all. Okay, y'all, that's the end of that sprint. I got all the stuff I was trying to get done during that sprint done, including like making the reservation for lunch on Saturday. I talked to my aunt, figured out when when I'm going to see her. So I'm probably going to be leaving on the 15th and coming back on the 19th. So the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of that week, we are probably not going to have any kind of sprints or anything. So at least for me. There will be other sprints, of course, but not for me. So just as a heads up. Because if I don't see my aunt now, I'm not going to have a chance to see her until like August, but more likely like November. Well, maybe late September. So Era had to take off. I hope, Era, you have a good day and your meetings are quiet and easy. Daniela said, I finalized the weekend plans with the correct times. Hopefully now, yeah. Woo, time zones, man. Time zones. All right. I know we just had a break, but we're supposed to be, we're supposed to have a break at around 2 o'clock. So we're going to go ahead and take another little break. I'm going to be off camera just for a couple minutes, and then I should be back relatively quickly. Because I've got tea to last me, and I've already used the bathroom, but there's something I need to do off camera, so I'm going to run do that. Because we are going to wrap up right around 3 today. 3:15, something like that. We're not going to go late like we did last time. So, yeah. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a little break. So if you need something to eat or something to drink, or you need to use a restroom, this is the time to do it. If you've been sitting this whole time, get up out your chair, move your bod, shake your booty, whatever. Yeah. And if you haven't taken your meds, this is your final reminder, probably final reminder. Take your damn meds. And I need to take some meds. So I'm going to work on my vitamins. Because remember, I told y'all I have not been good at doing the afternoon vitamins the last couple weeks. So I'm going to work on that. All right, let's be right back. Let me put 5 minutes on the red timer. We'll meet right back here in just a couple minutes. Be right back. All right, I have returned. Let me put the timer on the screen so y'all can see how much time we have left on the break. Let's see. Alicia says, I ate my lunch and 2 chocolate chip cookies. Yum. I also had 2 chocolate chip cookies because that's what my Lunchable came with. Found a calculator that I think you will like and use. The things I do for my family. Girl, yes, same. Same. I'm putting my mom on a budget. So yeah. So I was thinking, should we look at some more of the Oracle cards for a couple minutes? Let me find the right one. Is it this one? No, that's not right. That's not even the right thing. What's going on there? This one? This one. I have too many layouts or whatever. So let's see. Let's look at some of these others. Here's reason. Listen to advice, think clearly, intellect. Look how pretty she is. She's very pretty. Kelly is procrastinating, taking the dog for a walk. I feel like that's not like usual. You okay, Kel? You okay over there? Alicia says my dad wants to pay things off like last week and he can't do it. I mean, we all want to do that, right? This one is immortal. The consuming family. Pressure of peers. So that one's for Alicia, clearly. That's really pretty. You know, when I first glanced at this, I thought this was supposed to be Jesus, but it's not. It looks more like maybe her husband or something. Like, see, he looks more like an Italian nobleman, is what he looks like. That death will come, memento mori. Mortal, finite, fragile. This one's a really pretty one. And that looks an awful lot like a pomegranate, which I think is interesting. I like the different symbolisms that I'm seeing in the cards. I think that's really, really cool. Let's see. Daniela says, my mom sent me a hilarious task this week. It was literally, replace this picture in Word with another one. I mean, at least your mom knows how to use Word. Kelly says, the walks have been harder since I was ill. That makes sense. You don't have nearly as much energy as you did before, and that's okay. And it's also okay to make the walk not as long as it was. Cora will be fine. You know, if you can only do 1.5 miles instead of 3 miles, just do the 1.5 miles and come home. Alicia says, I would love to be immortal. I would also like to be immortal if I could, like, be physically okay. Does that make sense? Like, I have lots of, like, I would not want to be, I mean, I would take being immortal in, like, my current condition. I would take it. But if I had my preference, I would have different things fixed first. Let's see. I showed this one already once. Let's see. This one's interesting. I like her hair in this one. This one is called Witness to Know, Personal Evidence to Speak Out. I like her eyes in this one and her hair. I think this is a really cool one. I also like this one. Nightmare, Psychic Protection, Shield, Bad Dreams. And this one's cool too. Primal, Connecting Deep Within, Sacred Dance, and Instinct. Okay, so I'm going to put these guys away again. M says, wait, what's the dog's name? Yes, Cora. Cora sprints on Kelly's Cursed Dragon Ship YouTube channel. And, they do morning sprints, from 30-minute sprints from 8 a.m. No, that's not right. 9 a.m. Eastern time to about 11:30-ish. So yeah. Emily's protagonist is named Cora. I love it. I love it. Cora is honored, as she should be. All right, we're gonna change up. You know, with this new garden, I haven't actually changed anything in the garden yet. The garden itself, I haven't done anything with it. That's not what I meant to do. What I meant to do was activity. Let's see. Let's move them over to the gazebo. And, oh look, he's sipping. I like the way he moves his head. Okay. Primal sounds good, right? Right? Okay, let's get into it. We have enough time probably for 2 more sprints before the end of the stream. Maybe 3. We'll see how it goes. All right, y'all ready? Let's do it. All right, y'all, how'd you do? I did not. I did not do great. I got sidetracked by Tubby Nugget. That's how it works sometimes. All right, how did everybody do this round? Alicia said her dad doesn't like the new calculator, so she gives up for today. And I was like, he hasn't even used it. He literally did not even have it for 30 minutes. There's no way that he's going to know whether it's effective or not if he hasn't even used it. Now he's just being a pain in the ass. I mean, that's what I'd say to him. I'm like, you don't like it? Find your own. Although I am also really big on boundaries with my family. I will help them, you know, until it becomes apparent that my help is not helping or that they're taking advantage of my help. And then I draw boundaries. That's just the way I work. You know what I mean? Just the way I work. So, Daniela says, I made 4 TikToks out of Sunday concert footage. Good job. Good job. I do enjoy your TikTok. Well, I mean, I'm on YouTube. I do enjoy your shorts. Anita, finished with the art, but figured stuff out. Oh, so while you were doing the art, you figured stuff out in your brain about your writing? I love that. I mean, I hope that's what happened. So, and I took the rest of my vitamins, but I got some caught in my throat. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. Alicia said what he wants is something that will do the math for him so he can see the monthly payments, new amounts, and the interest payments in a debt snowball fashion. So I actually have, like, the thing is, like, there's not going to be anything that does all of that for him, especially if the amount due changes based on what's paid. I have one that I did, that is part of my financial organizational spreadsheet. It's a debt snowball, and it basically has, it's an Excel sheet. Let me pull it up real quick. That's not it. I'm like, wait a minute. That's a convention tracking thing. That's not it at all. And so it basically has like the creditor, the interest percent, because most of what is on here that's left over is my student loan. The original payoff amount from when I put it in there, the minimum payment, and how much additional I'm putting in, and then what the new payment is with those two things added together. The date I began, the current date, which is the date I pay that bill that month, a paid off date, balance added, because sometimes you have to add a balance to a credit card or whatever, the running balance, and then any notes. So that's how mine is. And the way I have mine figured is that when I have them in the order that I want to pay them off. I mean, all I have left are student loans. So like, it's not really in any order now because it's just student loans. But basically the way it works is the additional, when I pay off the top one, I take whatever that last amount was that I paid, and it adds it into, or whatever the additional amount was, or whatever it was. Anyway, it adds it in as the new additional amount. And so then it tells me, you know, like once I pay that off, I'll know. I don't know if that made any sense. Because that's the way, for those who don't know, that's the way the debt snowball works. So like, say you've got 3 bills, 3 debts, and you start with the smallest balance, and you like, say you have to pay like $25 every month, you add to that. So you say add an extra $10 or whatever. So you're paying $35 a month for that, and then you're paying the minimum for the other ones, or like whatever your normal payment is for the other ones. And then when you pay off that first one, you take that $35 and you add it to what you're paying the second one. So you're paying the second one, whatever your monthly payment is, plus the $35. When you pay that off, you take the $35 and whatever that payment was, and you apply it to the third one, and you keep doing that until you pay your bills off. So that's how that works. So you can do it in an Excel sheet, but it's not going to all be automatic. He's going to have to enter information here and there because there's no way for it to be automatic. So let's see. Hattie says, I dozed. Might have to log out before the end of the stream. Sometimes that's what you need, though. You've had a very, very busy day, and you've got to go pick up a kid in a half an hour anyway. So I hope you have a good day, Hattie. I hope you're able to get some rest. Alicia says, I will conveniently not answer the phone later. I think that's a great plan. Daniela says, TikTok eats first, but most videos will make their way to YouTube eventually. I'm just hesitant to put multiple shorts a day here like you can do on TikTok. I mean, they've been trying to push shorts, so... Hang on. Can y'all hear me? So I just got a thing saying that my mic is unmuted but has no signal. Super weird. Somebody let me know if you can hear me now. Okay, good. That was super weird. Okay, good. All right. Anyway, Daniela, YouTube has been trying to push the shorts, so I don't know why you wouldn't be able to put it. They'd probably like it if you put in multiple shorts in a day. Anita says, no, figured out how to do effect stuff with the art. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Sophia says, do you do the highest rate first or the lowest debt first? Yes, you do the lowest debt first, and it is the Dave Ramsey method. But the reason that I find that, yes, if you can do it, you always want to pay off the highest interest rate. But how it works, if you pay off the lowest debt, you also get the dopamine burst from paying it off, right? And then you can actively see, because you're paying extra into that smaller amount, you can see it get smaller faster. Very often, if it has a higher interest rate, it can very often be a bigger balance or whatever. But I would say if you have a really high balance one, then I would work on paying that off or transferring it. If it's a credit card debt, transferring it to a different credit card because that's what I did when we were carrying debt. And this was mostly from when the first tree fell, because we had to get a lot of stuff done that we had to pay for out of pocket. And so what I would do is I would put it on a credit card, and then after, like, when it would come due the next month, I would take that balance and I would transfer it to another credit card, and then you get like a 3% or a 4% charge to move it over, but then you get zero interest for however amount of time, usually a year. And so you end up only paying 3% versus the 23%, so like if you have to carry a balance, to me, that's the way to do it, is to move it around like that. So yeah, I'm very creative with my budgeting. Let's see. Alicia says, I see what you were saying. He may like it, but he will get annoyed with it because Excel, he is picky and not computer friendly. He doesn't get to be bitchy just because he doesn't understand. If he wants something to do it, he has to do some learning. I mean, I'm just saying, because I struggle with this with my mom too, and she can get super overwhelmed with technology. Let's see. No, I'm using my good mic. It was just some weird thing. I don't know what that was. I've never had that thing before, that error before. If you pay off the lowest payment first, it actually works faster, for sure, because you've got extra money that is no longer going to these other debts that you can then soak into the bigger balance. Yep, absolutely. Sophia says, yeah, I think it's a valid method, assuming you don't have a very small debt with high rate. Alicia's like, you ain't telling me nothing new. Sophia says, I remember watching a lady on YouTube do her budget videos every month using the snowball method, and she eventually had paid off everything but her house. It was fun to watch the numbers go down. Secondhand satisfaction. Yeah, and that's exactly what I did because we paid off, like I have my student loan. I've paid off almost all my student loans. I have 3 left. Um, and then I had we had the car loan. We are carrying some medical debt right now, but it's no interest, so I'm not concerned about it, and we'll have it paid off before any interest is assessed. But we had some credit card debt and stuff, and so we paid off the credit card debt twice because again we had to add to the credit card when after the first tree fell, and we paid off the car loan, and I've paid off 3 of the 6 student loan debts. I started tracking this in 2020. That's when I really started focusing on it because I wanted to pay down the student debt, especially. I wanted to pay that off because, that's like right now I was paying, like I was having to put some on forbearance because all of the loans together were like $800 a month. And I didn't have that. So I was putting some on forbearance, and when you put it on forbearance, all of the interest gets added to, and this is why student loans are so fucking predatory in the US. All of the interest that gathers while it's on forbearance gets added to the principal, so then you also have to pay interest on that as time goes on. So I would have to do that. I would have to put half of them on forbearance, and you can only do forbearance for a total of 2 years per loan. So I'd have to do half of them on forbearance for like 4 months, and then put the other half on forbearance for 4 months, and just like bounce back and forth between them until I was able to get the lower balances paid off. And so, yeah, so like that was very, like that is really what helped me do it. Between that and You Need a Budget, which is my budgeting software, which is basically like the envelope system, but electronically. Which the envelope system is the thing that works the very best with my brain, and so You Need a Budget works excellent with my brain. Because it just makes total sense to me. Let's see. Alicia says, yes, I'm doing the debt snowball myself, and I'm down to 2 debts. Excellent. Excellent. Kelly says, every time we pay something off and we want to snowball, something happens and the money ends up going somewhere else, so I gave up years ago. But I mean, that happens sometimes, but usually for me anyway, that was not necessarily ongoing debt. It's just like, if I have the extra $120 from that payment that is now completely paid off, and it should go into this other thing, if I end up having something else, it's not usually an ongoing debt. Sometimes it is, but then sometimes it's just debt you have to add to the snowball. You know what I mean? So, and the other thing is, like, we hardly ever, in the time my husband and I have been together, we've only actually had a car note. We've been together for we've been married for 24 years, together 27 years. Out of all that time, I think we've only carried a car note. We leased a car once, so we did have a 2-year period where we had a car lease. But every other time, I don't think we've had more than a total of maybe 12 years of actually having a car note, because we tend to try to pay the car note off early, so that we don't have, like, we haven't had a car payment. We paid the car loan off in August of 2024. So we haven't had a car payment in like a year and a half. And that's my preference. Although I'm also awful about wanting, like, I don't ever want my car payment to be over like $320. That's the most I've ever had, and actually that's my last car, the current car we have, our car payment was $310. Because I like a low car payment. So, like, I do everything I can to make sure I get a low car payment. So, yeah. Anyway, let's see. Alicia says, okay, time for me to go get the kiddos. Be careful out there, Alicia. I'll be back if you're gone before then. Thank you for sprints. You're very welcome. Kelly says, if I die debt-free, they win. I don't think that's how that works. Alicia says, yes, Kelly, I know that feeling. We are kind of going through that now, but I want it paid off. Yeah. And I have found that, like, paying off the debt really helps mentally, too. And it's really good for the mental health. So yeah. All right, let's get into it. This is going to be our last sprint of the stream. Wait a minute, I lost my. Hang on. I had my spreadsheets up, so like I lost my. There it is. I lost my Spirit City. It was missing. Okay, final sprint of the stream. We're probably not going to raid today. I just don't feel like it. So this is going to be it, y'all. 20 minutes. Let's end this strong. Here we go. Okay, y'all, that's it. That is the end of the stream. How did you guys do that round? I didn't get very much done, although I did reach out to a friend that I haven't talked to in a really long time, and well, a couple months, like a month and a half, and you know how you just kind of like you'll be talking to somebody and you'll kind of fall out of touch, and then you'll talk again, and I was really missing her, so I reached out and sent her, a message, and so we've been chit chatting a little bit, so that made me feel good because like it's somebody I really really care for, and she's awesome, um, and so I was really happy. I was really happy that she replied. So I did chat with her a little bit. I was also texting with Holly about the emails that I sent yesterday. The big email to the potential guest and his rep about how our convention is not what they're used to. So we were talking a little bit about that. So Emily says, shifted from outlining back to writing halfway through the sprint. Got like 220 words. Feel good about that. Slow and steady progress. That's all we care about. Eventually it'll be done. No, that's true. That's exactly right. If you keep going, it will get done. Like there's no other option. Like that's how it works. It's as long as you don't stop. As long as you don't stop, it'll get done. You're doing great. Daniela said, I made herbal tea with honey for the sniffles. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're unwell. We just have a bajillion pollens here. That's our problem right now. And I'm super annoyed because I looked up and I was like, why am I so warm? And I look up and I was like, oh, it's 77 degrees in my office. Because, I got up the other morning and it was like 45 degrees out. And like today we're supposed to get a high of like 80 something. And but then Saturday it's supposed to get cold again. I'm so tired of turning my heat on, turning my heat off, turning my AC on, turning my AC off, turning my heat on, turning my heat. I'm so tired of it. All right, let me go over the events of the coming week as I know them. Tonight at 7 p.m., these are all Eastern time, by the way. 7 p.m., we have writing sprints with Amelia. She goes from 7 till 9. Oh, excuse me. She goes from 7 till 9. She does 30-minute sprints. Then tomorrow at 1 p.m., we will have our usual Zoom co-working that I will be hosting. We go from 1 until about 2:30. Then at 8 p.m. tomorrow evening, we have Friday Night Writes with Rachel Brune. She goes from 8 until about 10. On Saturday morning, 11 a.m., we have Saturday Discord Sprints with Dalen. Over in the Discord, obviously. And then on Sunday morning, we have Sunday morning Discord write-in with Dalen at 10 a.m. He goes from 10 till 12. This is the usual time of Lisa Raby's Sunday morning write-in, and she usually does that on Google Meet, but she has been unavailable last weekend and this weekend, so Dalen is doing it over in the Discord. So that goes from 10 a.m. until noon. Sorry, on Sunday. Then on Sunday evening, 7 p.m., we have our usual discussion on Zoom, 7 till about 8:30. If you haven't voted yet on the topic or topics of your choice, please take a second to do that. Go into the event section of the Facebook group and find the Sunday event. It's in chronological order, so it's not hard to find. And inside there, you'll see a post that says, vote here. And then that'll give, if you open that post up, that'll give you the list of all of the suggested topics. You're welcome to, we are open to new topics. So if you have another topic that's not listed there that you would like for us to discuss, absolutely add that. Okay, so that's at 7 p.m. Sunday evening. We go till about 8:30. On Monday at 2 p.m., we have sprints and meditation with Mr. Joe Compton because he wasn't able to do it this week, so he is doing it next week. Then on Tuesday, 7 p.m., we have writing sprints with Amelia again, 7 till 9. Come back around to Wednesday. We will be back here at noon, from noon until 3, or later if I'm feeling, ambitious. So that is noon to 3 on Wednesday, which brings us back around to next Thursday, where we will be doing this yet again. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Nobody else has checked in the chat. Daniela says thank you for the sprints. Of course, you're welcome. You're welcome. So, all right. I think that's it. So, like I said, we're not gonna raid today. I just don't feel up to it. And I keep yawning. I don't know why I keep yawning. My brain's tired, I guess. All right. Y'all have a good rest of your day. Have a good evening, afternoon, morning, whatever it is where you are. I hope you get everything done you need to get done. Thank you for being with me. Oh, Anita says, I got some writing done and won 2 books. Where did you win books, Anita? Quickly. I must know. So I really appreciate you guys being here with me, even though I feel like I haven't gotten anything done today. I know I've gotten some things done, just not everything I needed to get done, and I've been kind of putzing around a little bit more than I should. But I always appreciate having you guys with me here because you guys inspire me. All of you. You inspire me. So I really appreciate it. I'm still waiting for Anita to tell me how she won books. I need to know that, like, sooner rather than later. Here we go. Library Thing Early Reviewers Program. Nice. Very cool. Awesome. All right. Well, y'all have a good rest of your day. Get lots of words or whatever it is you need to get to feel accomplished. And I'll see you guys. Well, if you're doing the Zoom tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow. If you only do the Twitch and the YouTube stuff, I will see you next week. All right, y'all. Ciao.